What was the Library of Alexandria? How did it come about? Was knowledge lost forever? Could humanity be centuries ahead if this ancient treasure hadn't been destroyed? Let's uncover the truth behind one of history's greatest intellectual tragedies. Why was the Library of Alexandria so important? The Library of Alexandria wasn't just a building, it was an intellectual powerhouse, designed to collect and preserve all the world's knowledge. Established in the 3rd century BCE in Egypt, it was the most ambitious library of the ancient world. Home to hundreds of thousands of scrolls, it housed works on science, mathematics, philosophy, medicine, and astronomy. Great minds like Archimedes, Euclid, and Eratosthenes studied there, making groundbreaking discoveries that shaped modern knowledge. The library symbolized an era when civilizations actively shared knowledge instead of hoarding it, allowing for rapid advancements in multiple fields. But one of history's greatest mysteries remains. What exactly happened to it? Did its destruction truly set humanity back centuries? Or has its influence endured in ways we don't fully understand? Let's explore the truth. Who built the Library of Alexandria and why? The library was founded during the reign of Ptolemy I or Ptolemy II in Alexandria, Egypt, a city established by Alexander the Great. The Ptolemaic rulers envisioned Alexandria as the world's center for culture, learning, and trade. To achieve this, they created the Mushin, an institution that housed the library and functioned as an early university, attracting scholars from across the Mediterranean. The goal was to gather all human knowledge in one place, translating texts from Greek, Egyptian, Indian, and Persian civilizations. Ships arriving in Alexandria were required to surrender their books for copying, ensuring that knowledge from every culture was collected. The library grew rapidly, rumored to hold 400,000 to 700,000 scrolls at its peak. This ambitious project transformed Alexandria into the intellectual capital of the ancient world, fostering advancements that would influence civilizations for centuries. What was inside the Library of Alexandria? The library contained an incredible range of knowledge, from philosophy and astronomy to medicine and engineering. Some texts predated their rediscovery by over 1,000 years. Mathematicians like Euclid developed the foundations of geometry, while Eratosthenes calculated the Earth's circumference with astonishing accuracy. Other texts explored steam power, automata, and even theories that foreshadowed modern physics. Medicine was also advanced. Ancient Egyptian and Greek medical texts provided insights into surgery, disease treatment, and anatomy that were lost and had to be rediscovered during the Renaissance. Had this knowledge survived uninterrupted, some historians believe humanity's technological and scientific progress could have been accelerated by centuries. What caused the destruction of the Library of Alexandria? The library's destruction is one of history's greatest mysteries. It wasn't necessarily lost in a single catastrophic event, but rather through a series of unfortunate incidents over centuries. Many attribute its downfall to Julius Caesar's invasion of Alexandria in 48 BCE, during which a fire destroyed part of the library. However, the extent of the damage is debated as the library continued to exist for some time afterward. Later, Christian and Muslim rulers may have contributed to its decline by removing pagan texts, or repurposing the building for other uses. Some claim Caliph Omar ordered the final destruction in the 7th century, though this is disputed. Regardless of how it happened, the loss of the Library of Alexandria marked the end of an era of unparalleled intellectual exchange. Did the destruction of the library set humanity back? While much knowledge was lost, some texts survived through copies made in other parts of the world. Islamic scholars during the Golden Age of Islam preserved and expanded upon Greek, Persian, and Indian knowledge, ensuring that some ideas were not entirely erased. During the European Renaissance, scholars rediscovered classical texts that had been copied in the Middle East. This revival helped spark the scientific revolution, proving that knowledge could be rediscovered and built upon over time. However, some theories, such as early steam-powered devices, may have been lost for centuries, delaying technological advancements. The idea that humanity could have been centuries ahead remains a compelling but unprovable hypothesis. Ultimately, while the library's destruction was tragic, its spirit of knowledge sharing and intellectual pursuit continues to inspire today's scientific communities. Can modern society prevent similar knowledge loss? The destruction of the Library of Alexandria serves as a warning about the fragility of knowledge. Without preservation and documentation, even the greatest advancements can vanish. Modern efforts such as digitized books, cloud storage, and open-source knowledge databases aim to prevent history from repeating itself. However, issues like censorship, restricted access, and data loss still pose challenges. Scientific progress has taught us that no single institution should hold all knowledge. Instead, information must be shared, protected, and accessible for future generations. While we can't undo the past, we can learn from it to ensure that knowledge remains available and indestructible. Could we create a modern equivalent of the Library of Alexandria? Some argue that today's digital age already surpasses what the ancient library could achieve. Online databases, cloud computing, and AI-assisted research allow for instant access to more knowledge than ever before. However, issues like government censorship, data restrictions, and cyber threats pose risks that ancient scholars never faced. A modern version of the library would need universal access, transparency, and secure backups to prevent the loss of knowledge again. Institutions like the Internet Archive, UNESCO, and global research databases are working toward this goal, but the challenge remains: how do we ensure knowledge lasts forever? Could a new version of the Library of Alexandria emerge as the greatest knowledge repository in history? Or will modern civilization find another way to preserve its intellectual legacy? What can we learn from the story of the Library of Alexandria? The Library of Alexandria represents both humanity's intellectual ambition and the fragility of knowledge. It was built on the idea that information should be gathered, shared, and preserved for future generations. Yet, despite its enormous potential, it was ultimately lost, reminding us that knowledge is never truly safe unless we actively protect it. The tragedy of its destruction raises a crucial question: how much knowledge have we lost throughout history? If the discoveries housed in Alexandria had survived, could we have developed advanced technologies, medicine, or scientific breakthroughs much earlier? Some believe that humanity could be centuries ahead in its progress if that knowledge had been continuously passed down. Yet while the Library of Alexandria is gone, its legacy still influences the way we think about education, research, and preservation. Modern institutions like universities, research centers, and digital archives carry on its mission. The challenge today is ensuring that our knowledge remains accessible and secure, protected from censorship, destruction, and technological failures. With today's advancements in AI, cloud storage, and open access research, we have the opportunity to create something even greater than the Library of Alexandria. But the real question is, will we learn from history and make sure that knowledge is never lost again, or will future generations look back at our era as another lost opportunity? What do you think would have happened if the Library of Alexandria had survived? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notifications bell if you love history and want to explore more lost knowledge. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.